Raider Nation, what's going on? You guys are watching the Raiders Report. Coming up here on today's show, I'm going to be giving you the 4 biggest overreactions after a 28-14 loss against the Chargers on Monday Night Football. And at the very end of today's segment, we're also going to be breaking down the biggest winners and losers from that game. Now, I wouldn't be able to do today's show, and probably wouldn't have a girlfriend either if it wasn't for Manscaped. Shout out to them and head on over to manscaped.com/Raiders. Free shipping, 20% off on the best male grooming products out there. If you have any questions about which ones I use, they just released a brand new body wash. All I'm saying is if you like having fun in the shower, it's definitely worth a shot. All right, let's get into some of these stories now. Should the Raiders go out and blame Jon Gruden for this loss? Because I've been seeing a lot of places, pre-game show that we did here, I saw on Twitter, I saw it on Instagram, a lot of people were blaming Jon Gruden for the 28-14 loss. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give this 2 chalky heads that I can understand the idea of blaming Gruden, but also you still have to have your players be able to execute. The issue is this: 4 straight weeks that the Raiders start slow. And I'm not talking about just slow. I'm talking about really slow. You're down 21-0 against an AFC West opponent. I don't understand how you weren't ready for this football game. You had only 1 first down in the first half. That ain't going to cut it. Gruden needs to be ready, and he also needs to be a little bit more aggressive. Put the ball in Derek Carr's hands. Stop being a boomer and try to run the ball when your offensive guard and your center, they can't block. The fact that the Raiders have struggled as much as they have in the first quarter and in the first half, that is on Gruden. That is 100% on your coaching staff not having the players ready. Now, again, you still need your players to execute. That's why I'm giving it 2 chalky heads. But the fact that this team has been outscored 56-31 in the first half, and the fact that we have only scored 5 points in the first quarter, and 2 of those points were on a Casey Hayward safety, so realistically, your offense has put up 3 points. That's not going to get it done in the NFL. Now, the other way I look at it is this. As bad as what we've been in the first quarter, we're still 3-1. So there's plenty of areas to be able to grow here. Now, what I want you guys to do here, maybe it's the first time you've come across the Raiders Report video. We just crossed 90,000 subscribers. And what I want you to do right now is go down in the comment section and let me know who deserves the blame for the Week 4 loss. If you want to put it on Gruden, if you want to put it on somebody else, maybe Tom Cable, maybe you want to put it on some offensive lineman, Derek Carr, and if you just want to say it was on the entire team effort, hey, I'm all there for it. Raiders Report's about the interaction of Raider Nation and giving you guys a voice. So please go ahead and let me know. Now, to make sure that you guys never miss a video, we're doing watch parties for every single game. I go live every single Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. Literally daily videos around everything going on with the team. And if there's breaking news, we're going to be bringing it to you like really, really quick. Faster than probably you've ever seen before, right? So if you haven't yet, hit that big red button that says subscribe. And it's very important to turn on those notifications. That way you don't miss a video. So how do you turn on the notifications? Dad, I'm looking at you. Go to your settings app on your iPhone or Android. Scroll down, tap YouTube. Tap notifications, and then turn on allow notifications. Now, that's also going to literally just pop it right up on your phone like you're getting a text message. And this actually helps me out a lot because when you have your noties on, it tells YouTube that you like what I'm doing here. So I want to give a shout out to the people that commented first on my last 5 videos. So shout out to Santi Valdez, Lemon Sharoff, Tyler M11, Jamie Alvarado Sr., and then Untouchable Raider 1960. If you want a shout out on a future Raider show, subscribe. Turn on those notifications because it does help me out a lot. And you're able to get the information that you want and that you need very, very quick. Let's go to the second biggest overreaction here. Derek Carr, he had some happy feet. If you didn't hear, Joey Bosa was talking about how he knows and the Chargers know that, hey, if you hit Derek Carr a few times, he's going to get rattled and he's going to get happy feet. Did he get happy feet up against the Chargers on Monday Night Football? Absolutely he did. 4 chalky heads, believe it, baby. But with all of that being said, you still can't put 100% of the blame on Carr. Now, he missed plenty of throws against the Chargers. Early on in this game, he had a wide-open Henry Ruggs, missed him for what would have been an easy first down, tried to check it down after he got sacked. Later on in the game, scrambles out to the right, misses a wide-open Henry Ruggs again, which probably would have been a 65-yard touchdown for Ruggs, but you saw it time and time again where as soon as the Chargers would get some pressure on Carr, he started to collapse, he started to try to check it down a little bit. Now, I also think some of the offensive game plan was around him trying to get the ball out quick, because the offensive line couldn't block for him. However, you could definitely tell that the pressure rattled him, and you could definitely tell that he did get a little bit of happy feet. Was it 100% all his fault? No, it wasn't. And it definitely led to a game plan that he didn't throw the ball downfield. I mean, think about it. The Raiders, the first 3 weeks of the season, they were throwing it down the field. They were being aggressive. Carr couldn't be aggressive, and then when the plays were actually there, he was like, oh crap, I'm about to get hit. Where's the check down? I don't want to see that version of the Raiders offense, and I don't want to see that version of Derek Carr. So the fact that he was sacked 4 times against the Chargers this past week, that was the biggest reason why I thought this team lost this game. So if you want to ensure that you got a guy who can carry this team the whole season, if you want to make sure that you can actually keep your quarterback healthy, because the only guy behind him is Nathan Peterman, because Mariota's still banged up, you better figure out a way to end up being able to protect your quarterback, because what the offensive line looks like right now is an absolute joke. So let me know, did Derek Carr get happy feet up against the Los Angeles Chargers? Y for yes and for no. I am going to type my Y for yes, because he absolutely 100% did. And it's not all his fault. I understand that the offensive line didn't pass block well, but yes, he absolutely got some happy feet. Now, if you guys haven't already gotten started with Manscaped, make sure you do. Halloween, y'all, it's right around the corner. And I don't know what you guys use to shave your downstairs. I don't know if you're using a razor that makes your balls look like Freddy Krueger just went to town on them, or Michael Myers literally just been stabbing, or now that I'm thinking about it, it's probably not the right hand motion to do for a Manscaped breed, but manscaped.com/Raiders, 20% off and free shipping. The product that you see over here is the Lawnmower 4.0. I've never used it on an actual lawn, but I do know this. It works really well on my downstairs personally. It's got an awesome battery life. It's also got a chargeable battery. Like, you don't even have to plug this thing into charge. Plus, you see those lights over there? It tells you how much battery power is left. So I don't know if anybody ever has been shaving at one time and then all of a sudden the razor dies. You're like, what the hell do I do now? If that happens, that's a you problem. And also what's going to be a you problem is if your girlfriend leaves, or if you don't got any loved ones in your life because your downstairs looks like a George W. Bush. Manscaped.com/Raiders. Let's go to the next story here. Is it time to bench Alex Leatherwood and Andre James? I believe that this is going to be the biggest story, the biggest talking point of the entire week, because the Raiders go out and draft Leatherwood number 17 overall, and they gave Andre James a contract extension. The first thing that we're going to talk about here is Alex Leatherwood, and is it time to bench him? I'm going to give it 4 chalky heads, and I'm going to say, yeah, I think it's either time to bench him, or I'll give you my other point here in a little bit. But the fact that both Leatherwood and James have been the worst players at their positions, that's alarming. And all I'm saying is this, Gruden, he just needs to switch it up a little bit. I don't know if they're going to kick Leatherwood into guard. I don't know what they're going to do with Andre James. But you have a 4-game sample size of not only bad, but very, very bad offensive line play. And the 2 guys that I am the most worried about are Alex Leatherwood at right tackle and Andre James at center. First, though, we're going to continue to talk here about Leatherwood. He's played in 257 snaps this year. His overall PFF grade is 31.1. His pass blocking grade is 28.1. His run blocking grade, 53.9. But it's not only just that. I mean, guys, look at some of these numbers through 4 games. He's got 6 penalties. And not only are they bad, they're penalties coming up in very bad situations. He's allowed 4 sacks already. He's allowed 6 quarterback hits and 18 pressures. Believe me, I've heard the comparisons of he's going to be like Colt Miller. In fact, when the Raiders drafted Alex Leatherwood, you can go back and look at it, I said, this pick is going to be a lot like Miller, where Miller struggled as a rookie, and Leatherwood's probably going to be in that exact same boat. So here's the thing. If you are this confident in Leatherwood, and Gruden said he's not going to hit the panic button, I am going to hit the panic button a little bit, though, because you have to realize that he's not only been bad, Miller was at least a little bit banged up. Leatherwood's been really bad, though. So should the Raiders bench him? Type B for bench, or want you to go ahead and type continue to start him, continue to get him out there. He's the future at right tackle. And even though I am going to sit here and say, yes, it's time to bench him, or you move him to guard. That's my point here. Watch his technique. Watch what he does. He reminds me a lot more of a guard technique than a right tackle. So, like, if your plan is to continue to have him out there on the field because you want him to get reps, I'm sorry, move him to right guard. Move him inside, and then you kick out Brandon Parker, because in the one game that Brandon Parker played, if you can sit here and tell me that you don't think that offensive line played better, or I can't believe I'm going to say this, Brandon Parker played a lot better than Leatherwood, you're drunk. Like, I'm sorry, it's as simple as that. So I want to see Leatherwood out there, but he's a liability right now at right tackle, and if the objection is to have him continue to play, move him into right guard, put Parker out there at right tackle, or go out and sign somebody, because what you're doing right now, it ain't working. Now, the bigger issue is Andre James, the center, because if your center's not getting it done, it basically plagues your entire offensive line. 292 snaps, overall grade of 38.8. Pass blocking grade of 48.4, and then the run blocking grade of 38. I mean, he's just been an absolute disaster. He's had 4 penalties against him, no sacks, 1 QB hit, 8 pressures. I mean, I get the fact that they moved on from Rodney Hudson. If I'm being honest, Rodney Hudson has not been good either. But the bigger mistake is you gave this guy 3 years, $6.5 million without really having seen him play, and I'm sorry, it's been a disaster. So is it time to bench Andre James? 1 for bench, 2 for you just got to keep starting them. For everyone out there like, oh, we gave him an extension, we got to continue to have him play, we got to have him continue to play. I get that idea, but I'm here to win football games right now, and I'm here to keep my quarterback 100% healthy. So I'm sorry, I'm saying give Nick Martin a shot. And if Nick Martin is just as bad, then okay, go back to James. But the fact that he's been not only the worst center in the league, there's been 33 centers that take at least enough snaps to be, according to PFF, to be, I guess, in their stat sheet. And he's been by far the worst. All I'm saying is this. The definition of insanity, according to Albert Einstein, is this. Doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. Give Nick Martin a shot. Let's go to the last story here. It's around Henry Ruggs. And is Ruggs the truth? And what do I mean by this? I mean, he got ripped on last year, and I was one of the guys that did it. He needed to play better, and Ruggs would have said the exact same thing. But is Henry Ruggs legit? Was it worth the pick at number 12? I'm actually going to give this one 3 chalky heads, and I'm going to say it's pretty likely. He right now leads the team with 297 receiving yards. His speed is impacting the game even when he doesn't catch it. Defenses, man, they are just starting to really, really respect what he does. And it's opening up things underneath for Hunter Renfrow, for Darren Waller, and it's even opening up things for Bryan Edwards, even though it didn't happen last week. But Carr, he missed him on a 60-yard touchdown, which really would have even helped his stats even more. The fact that Carr missed him on that, I don't think Ruggs is getting enough credit that he actually deserves. So usually when I talk about Henry, I'm like, hey, is he going to have over 1,000 yards? And for the longest time, I've been sitting here and saying no. I don't see Ruggs getting 1,000 yards. But let me know down in the comments section. O for over or U for under. Will Henry Ruggs have more than 1,000 receiving yards? When the season started, I projected Ruggs at 746 receiving yards. And you know what? I am happy to tell you right now that I am going to be wrong on that projection. I believe Ruggs is going to have over 1,000. When you look at the target share, when you look at all the extra ability, his route running, his physicality, he is just adding an extra element to that game. And if you can watch the tape for those last 4 weeks and you're not excited about Henry Ruggs, you need to wake the hell up. Because I don't want to throw out this comparison, because I know he gets the Cliff Branch comparison all the time. I mean, it's going to happen when it comes to speed, but he's reminding me a little bit of Cliff Branch. Now, if you guys are having a good time here, you want to talk Raiders with me at any point, you can always hit me up on Instagram. I'm at Mitchell Renz 365, and I would appreciate it if you guys did. We're always keeping you up to date, posting new stuff on my Instagram story. Even if IG crashes, don't worry, we're still going to keep you guys up to date. All right, coming up here, and we're going to go through these pretty quickie. A little quickie here for Manscaped. We're going to do the biggest winners and losers. And we're going to start with the 5 biggest winners and the 5 biggest losers. So shout out to Marshall. Again, we're going to try to go through these rather quickly. At number 5, I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to Casey Hayward, because he had 2 tackles in this one, but he continues to be one of the best cornerbacks, if not the best corner in the entire league. Trayvon Mullen went down. Damon Arnett went down. I also want to give a shout out to Amik Robertson, because he did a phenomenal job up against Mike Williams. Let's go to number 4 here. Darius Philon didn't play all that well against the run, but his ability to be a solid 3 technique, 2 sacks in this game. I mean, he was able to get after Herbert, and he was able to really just push forward and be a dominant pass rusher at the defensive tackle position. He deserves a major shout-out. At number 3, Max Crosby. Even though Max didn't get a sack, his ability to just get extra pressure on the quarterback and wreak havoc, 5 pressures this year. He is the number 1 rated defensive end according to PFF, and his motor never, ever stops. At number 2, the second biggest winner in this game, Henry Ruggs. He's got the route running, he's got the speed, and if Carr would have hit him for a touchdown, he would have had 4 catches, probably 120 yards and a touchdown, and we'd be singing the praises of Ruggs a little bit more. But I like the way they're using him, and he looks really good. At number 1, the biggest winner, Hunter Renfrow. This guy's a baller. This guy is a football player. He is the definition of a Gruden grinder. 6 catches, 45 yards, and a touchdown. But he is an elite route runner. Watch some of the routes that this guy puts together, his combinations. It's like insane to me. It reminds me of Kyrie Irving's ball handling skills. You're like, wow, how the hell did that happen? Not only that, I mean, if you didn't see the 4th down play where he was able to put his shoulder perfectly on the ball, knock it out when the Chargers went for a 4th down conversion and they would have had it, and just Renfrow, when you need a big play, he steps up. He's the biggest winner in today's game. Now, if you disagree with me, let me know. Who was the Raiders' biggest winner up against the Chargers? I'm giving shout-outs to Ruggs. I'm giving shout-outs to Crosby, Hayward, Amik Robertson. I mean, there's just so many options that you could go with there. So let me know, who was the Raiders' biggest winner up against the Chargers? All right, guys, now it's time to get into the biggest losers up against the team. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please click that big red button and remember to turn on those notifications. That way you don't miss a thing. Now, I don't really like doing the losers simply because, I don't like to rip on guys, but it is part of the gig here. At number 5, Andre James. Continues to just be a liability on the interior offensive line. Can't really get a lot of stuff done when your interior blocking is just really, really bad at this point. So for that reason, he's a loser. Let's go to number 4, Bryan Edwards. No catches in this game. After a brilliant 3rd week, the Chargers did a good job really taking him out of this game. He had 1 catch for 4 yards. But they did a very good job of really trying to be able to take him away, and it really did. It impacted the Raiders' ability to try to really throw the ball down the field. At number 3, Kenyon Drake. I don't understand why he wasn't used more, because if Josh Jacobs is hurt, if Peyton Barber also got banged up, how does Drake get 1 carry for 2 yards? And then somebody please explain to me why we're paying a running back basically $14.5 million over the next 2 years to get 1 carry for 2 yards. I said it was a bad deal, and I'm going to stick with that. At number 2, Jonathan Hankins. The Chargers and Austin Eckler just ripped us apart on the interior. Jonathan Hankins goes out on the field to be a run stopper. He had 1 tackle, and this was probably one of the worst games that I've ever seen Hankins in this interior defensive tackle unit. At number 1, it's Alex Leatherwood. No surprise here, right? He gave up a sack. He had 2 really bad penalties. Joey Bosa and the rest of the Chargers offense was just ripping him apart from top to bottom. You're hoping for a little bit better of a performance from him. Now, I will say, there was glimpses where I was like, there's some hope. But I have high expectations for Leatherwood because I've seen it before, and I know this guy can play well. So let me know, guys, who was the Raiders' biggest loser up against the Chargers? Let me know down in the comments.